Welcome to BetCraft, home of football predictions and analysis. Okay, today being the fourth day of March, 2024, we have some games that we looked into and we come up with predictions and the best possible outcome for these games. And looking at yesterday's game, we saw that our games yesterday were above average. We saw 8 out of 12 coming out just the way we predicted them. But even though that is not the standard we aim for, we want greater success. Therefore, we took our time today and have a very a good analysis on these games and and brought it to you. Hopefully, we're going to have a very good greater success today. And that being said, if this is the first time you're coming across our video, remember to subscribe so that you do not miss out on our subsequent, games and predictions. Okay, that being said, we move into the business of the day, and today uh, we have games that we analyze, and we started with the games in Bulgaria, where we have FC Haba coming up against Levski Sofia in Bulgaria. And as usual, we looked into the past 20 for both sides. We'll see that the home side, have managed 8 wins, 4 draws, and 8 losses in the past 20 games, and also the away side have seen 9 wins, 4 draws, and 7 losses in the past 20 games of head. Also looking at the recent past for both sides, you'll see that the home side have seen 2 wins and 2 losses, and also they have seen a 1 draw in the past 5 games they've had, and the away side have seen 4 wins and 1 loss in the past 5 games they've had so far, and that led us to the conclusion that in this very encounter, we expect the away side to pick up the spoils. Levisi Sofia to win outrightly. That's the verdict. And heading to the next game, we have the next game we have is in Czech Republic Division 2. Okay, the second division in Czech Republic, we will have Sigma Olomouc B coming up against Jihava in that division. We'll see that in the past 20 for both sides, we'll see that home side have managed 8 wins, 5 draws, and 7 losses. And the away side have seen 9 wins, 6 draws, and 5 losses. And looking at the recent past for both sides, we'll see also that the home side have only managed 4 draws and 1 loss in the past 5 games of head, and the away side have won 4 out of the past 5 and had 1 draw in the past 5. And looking at this situation, we'll see that also that all the past 5 games for the home side, they have seen both sides scoring, and also in the away side, I've seen both sides scoring in 4 out of the past 5 they have had, and that led us to the conclusion that the best verdict for this very game is that we're going to see at least 2 goals coming up in this very encounter. Over 1.5, that is the verdict for that very game. Okay, going to the next game, it is in Denmark Super League, where we have FC Nordsjælland coming up against Sikabo. Okay, as usual, we take a look into the past 20 for both sides. We'll see that the home side have had 12 wins in the past 20 games they've had. They've also had 3 draws and 5 losses, while the away side have seen 9 wins, 3 draws, and 8 losses in the past 20 games they have had. And taking a look into the recent past, we'll see that the home side have managed 4 wins in the past 5 games, and they losing 1, which was against their last game, which was against FC Copenhagen. And also the away side have seen 3 wins and 2 losses in the past 5 games they've had, also losing to Copenhagen in one of the occasions. Okay, that led us to the conclusion that in this very encounter, we are going to expect at least over 1.5 in this very encounter. And going to the next game, it is in India, where we have FC Hyderabad coming up against Northeast United in Indian League. We'll see that the past 20 for both sides, the home side have have not been able to manage a win in the past 20 games. They have won nothing, and they have also had 4 draws and have lost 16 times in the past 20 games. And the away side have seen 6 wins, 7 draws, and 7 losses in the past 20 games I've had. Looking at the recent 5 for both sides, so we'll see that the home side have lost the entire 5 games they've had, and the away side have been able to manage 3 wins in the past five games. They have lost one and have drawn one. And putting all of that into account, we come to the conclusion that the away side is the side fancied to take the spoils in this very encounter, and we made a verdict. It is the away side to win outrightly in this very encounter. And going to the next prediction, it is in Holland, Netherlands S division, which is the second division in Holland, where we have Den Bosch coming up against FC Groningen. And looking at the past 20 as usual, we could see that the home side have only managed 1 win, and they've had 8 draws and 11 losses in the past 20 games they've had. And looking at how their away side have fared in the past 20, we'll see that they've had 12 wins and also 5 draws and 3 losses in the past 20 games they've had. And in the recent past, we see that the home side, have lost 2 and drawn 3 out of the last 5 games they've had, and their away side have been able to manage 2 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss. And that loss coming up against Feyenoord. Feyenoord being a top flight team in Dutch league. And putting all of this together, we came to the conclusion that it is their away side who is better fancied to take the spoils, in that very encounter. It is their away side to win. That's our verdict for that very game. And the next that we have is in Portugal, where we have Portuguese second division, where we have Académico Vissel coming up against Santa Clara. Santa Clara is the league toppers at the moment in Portuguese second division. And we also have dived into the past 20 for both sides. We could see that the home side, Vissel, have been able to manage 8 wins. And they have had 6 draws and 6 losses in the past 20. And the away side have seen 12 wins, 6 draws, and 2 losses in the past 20 games they've had. And in the recent past for both sides, we see that the home side itself have been able to win 2 out of the past 5, and they've had 2 draws and 1 loss in the past 5 games they've had. And their away side, Santa Clara, have seen 3 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss in the past 5. The loss coming against their cup match against FC Porto in the Portuguese Cup. And bringing all that together, we come to the conclusion that the away side Santa Clara is expected to take the spoils in this very encounter. I will win. That's our verdict in this very encounter. And the next that we have for you is in Spanish Segunda, which is the second division in Spanish league, where we have Elche coming up against Alcorcon. Okay, and also we take a look into the past 20 for both sides, and we could see that for the home side, they've been able to manage 11 wins in the past 20 games. They've also had 4 draws and 5 losses in the past 20 games they've had. And the away side have seen 6 wins, 6 draws, and 8 losses in the past 20 games they have played. And also looking at the recent past for both sides, we could see that in the past 5 games for the home side, Elche, which the home side have seen 3 wins, and they've had 1 loss and 1 draw in the past 5 games they've had. And also the away side have managed just 1 win, and they've had 2 draws and 2 losses in the past 5 games they've had. And that led us to the conclusion that the home side is somehow going to manage to see the spoils, take the entire spoils in this very game. The home side to win. Outrightly, that's our verdict for that very game. And going to the next game that we have for you, it is in Turkey, where we have Allianspor coming up against Trabzonspor. Allianspor is ranked 15 in Turkish league, and Trabzonspor is ranked 3rd in the Turkish league. And remember, they have having a very fierce battle between them, Galatasaray, Fenerbahce, and Besiktas in the Turkish league, looking for European competition for next season. And in this very game, we look at the past 20. We could see that the home side have been able to manage just 6 wins. They have had 8 draws, and they've had 6 losses, while their away side, Trabzonspor, have seen 12 wins in the past 20. They've seen 3 draws and 5 losses in the past 20 games they've had. And also looking at the recent past, we see that Allianspor, the home side, have seen 4 draws and 1 loss in the past 5 games they've played. But the away side, have won the entire 5 games they've played. Trabzonspor have won all their games in the past 5 encounters, and that led us to the conclusion that in this very encounter, Charles Gospel is going to take the spoils outrightly. They always try to win. That's the verdict for that very game. And to the next game that we have is also in Turkish League, where we have Adana Demirspor coming up against Fatih Karagümrük. Okay, and we can see also that in the past 24 home side, they have had 2 wins, 10 draws, and 8 losses in the past 20 games they've had. And their away side have seen 9 wins and 3 draws, and also have seen 8 losses in the past 20 games. And looking at how they fared in the recent past, we could see also that the home side have lost 4 times out of 5, drawing 1, and also for their away side, they have won 3 and have drawn 2 in the past 5 games they've had so far. And that led us to the conclusion that the away side is going to see a result in this very encounter. We expect them to come up with some results, not losing out, to the home side outrightly in this very encounter. So the verdict for this very game, it is S2, the away side, to either win or draw in this very encounter. And that, concludes our predictions for today on BetCraft. And remember, for those of you who are coming across our video for the first time, please try to subscribe so that you don't miss out in all our predictions. Okay, that being said, I wish you today a lot of green. Okay, and I hope that we win all our tickets today. And I'll see you again tomorrow for the next predictions on BetCraft. Keep winning.